I got the intro. I went above and beyond.
So sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's us. We're not professional.
Tonight's guest on the Putting You Over podcast is a professional wrestler based out of Jacksonville, Florida. She is an actor, model, improv comedian, and 100-ton master boat captain. Would you all please welcome your friendly neighborhood goofball, Vicky Dreamboat.
What is up, you guys?
What's up? How's it going? Welcome.
It's good. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for letting me be early. I'm like chronically early to everything, and it's kind of an inconvenience. So I'm sorry.
No, hey, this is how we run this show. It's live. So when you get here, you come in. It's like you just opened the door to the bar and walked in and sat down, and here you are. And
I love that.
Yeah, right? Why not? Intro by Ryan Romano, dear friend of the show. Reached out. He likes to do them. He did it. Love him. Love the guy. Thank you, Ryan.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, rock and roll. Dreamboat 316, baby.
Dreamboat 316 says, "I just whooped your ass."
Sure did. So you've dressed up as Stone Cold for Halloween. You've dressed up as Mick Foley. Who's next?
Oh my gosh, these are all really good questions. I don't know. I feel like I should probably go as a female wrestler at some point in time. Maybe Becky Lynch, just because she's such a stark contrast from me. So. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see where the life takes us here.
I heard you say Becky Lynch's heel turn. Yeah, was it a heel turn? Heel turn.
It is.
Heel run. You are on board with it. You're enjoying it.
I am. I know that's kind of an unpopular opinion.
Right, yeah.
So if you want me to defend it, I can.
It's your opinion. I mean.
You're like, it's wrong, but it's your opinion.
Something we say on this show a lot is if it's not our opinion, we don't really care.
Fair.
But
that's fair.
I'll give you my opinion first, and you can do yours. Yeah. I think the fans want to cheer Becky. So let him.
Right.
But
right.
So since doesn't fit my narrative, like that's not happening. I guess I don't like it. I don't know. I am kind of on board though because I like what Seth is doing and I kind of relate the two together, obviously. Yeah. But what's your take? So you're enjoying this. You're on board with heel Becky.
I am on board with heel Becky, and I'll tell you why.
Great.
Now a lot of old school wrestling fans are going to be like, Vicky, you're just dead wrong about this. You suck. That's fine. No problem. Easy. We can have a conversation. I think that she's paid her dues. And it was time. So just from that standpoint alone, like it was time for her to make the turn. I also think that for women in wrestling who go off and like need to take maternity leave, need to take their time or whatever, they come back in, they have a baby, like they can't come in exactly the same because they are changed and they're different. So I think there's a little bit of that. Most importantly, I think she kills it as a heel. And I think if you look at people like Charlotte Flair, who get cheered as a heel anyway, the excuse or the argument of, the fans want to cheer for her is like, yeah, they're going to cheer for him either way.
Right.
I mean, the fans are going to do what the fans do. Like, you look at, like, the House of Black on AEW right now. Heeliest heels in the world. What happens when the lights go out? The fans lose their minds.
Yeah, they pop.
So, I don't know. Big old pop. So, I don't know. It's kind of like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other kind of situation.
To each their own. Speaking of that House of Black stuff, like you said, everybody's cheering for him, even though they're the quote-unquote heels. I was watching AEW last night. I don't know if you were, but I was. I thought last night that Pillman and Griff Garrison were going to turn on Julia.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I thought that was going to happen. And then since they're already popping for House of Black, and it was going to be a switch there. But
right. I thought Julia was Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I thought Julia was going to turn.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to turn. I was 100%. And I know people at AEW Nightmare Factory and stuff, and I could have asked questions, but I didn't want to ask any of those questions because I was like, nah, I want to find out for myself. And I was dead wrong.
Yeah.
100% wrong.
And that's true. And we're going to get to that. You trained, you went like 2 stints at the Nightmare Factory.
Sure did.
Most people do 3 months. You did 6. Blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Due to an injury. So we'll get to that aspect. I do want to talk about, because you're a lot of things. You're an actress, comedian, and a boat captain. So okay, so first of all, I'm gonna start there.
Yeah.
That's a shoot, brother. Like, you're a boat captain.
Yeah, that is my actual real life 100% of the time. Not right now, but up until this year job. I spent 5 years in Alaska working on boats, and I got all my sea time to get my license. So I was 22 when I got my 100-ton master captain's license. And I didn't use it for the first year because I was scared. So I was just like a captain in training, CIT. And then I started working. I was living in Seattle, Washington at this time. So I started working for a tour company there, and that's where I got all my captain time.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
insane. So I'm very naive and ignorant at times. A captain of a boat.
Yes.
Do you steer the boat?
That's right. Yeah, that's 100% correct. You steer it, you dock it. You're responsible for all the souls aboard. So however many souls are aboard, including your own, your crews, and your passengers, people die. That's all on you. It's kind of a dark take, but it's true.
Wow, that's a responsibility I do not want.
I was 22, man. I should not have been allowed to have that, but it worked out. I haven't killed anybody yet.
Right? Oh wow, that's awesome that you haven't killed anyone. Awesome that you're a boat captain. All great stuff.
So you said you were in like Alaska, like the fishing boats or like the cruise boats?
Good question. So I did a little bit of fishing, but I mostly did whale watching, wildlife tours, natural history. So not a cruise ship. It was a 75-foot Delta hull vessel that carried 77 passengers. So 2 more passengers than we had feet. And we would take anywhere from 60 to 77 people on these like natural history and wildlife tours. So ornithology, whale watching kind of stuff.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cheating death on the high seas.
Yeah. Whales.
It was really good.
Yeah.
I was somebody told me I was crazy because I was like, oh yeah, I used to just be on a boat and not really have that much responsibility, just walk around the boat and hang out and talk to people and make them drinks and see whales every day. And they were like, and you wanted to wrestle why?
Yeah, right.
You wanted to do anything else? Why? It's like, well, I don't know. Just keep it interesting, you know?
Yeah. I went whale watching with my family, my daughters, my wife, and we went out and the water was choppy. We went out and I guess the boat captain went to turn us around because it was too choppy to go out. So now he's turning us around to go back. The boat like went like this, and I looked over to my side, which is where the water was, and all I saw was blue, like a sheet of blue. Yeah, and I was scared shitless, and I'll never get on a boat again.
It's definitely a scary moment when that happens. I've been driving a boat when that happens, and I've been on boats when it happens. Especially as a passenger, though, because like at least for me, I had the peace of mind to know there was something I could do about it. But as a passenger, I would imagine you were like, "What? Am I gonna die? Am I about to drown? What's happening?"
I had like it was very quick. In the seconds that happened, I planned everything out. I knew right where the life jackets were. I said, I'm grabbing this kid, my youngest. The rest of you are on your fucking own. I'm jumping and I'm swimming.
Just grab the one that can't swim, right?
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. And we got back and they gave us all vouchers to do it again. And I took it and I crumpled it up and threw it away. I said, I'm not going. I'm not doing it again. But I'm not as brave as a lot of people. But what are you going to do, right?
No, that's fair.
Yeah. So you said, so someone said to you, and you want to wrestle, why? So that's a great question. Why do you want to wrestle?
Yeah, good. I'm still figuring it out. Actually, I know my why. I've been a performer my whole life, right. And there isn't anything in the entire world that brings me more joy than eliciting a reaction from other people based off of something basic performative, right? Yeah. So like being able to make people suspend reality, even for just a moment, has always been, this sounds like really woo-woo-y or whatever, yeah. But I've always, ever since I was little, I grew up on stage and performing and acting and doing music and stuff. And so for me, it's just like, knowing that I could be even a small part of somebody's day being better than forgetting their troubles or whatever. And then translating that over into like, I really liked weightlifting and I really liked being active. And so it just kind of fell into my lap and became the perfect thing. Cause I didn't grow up watching wrestling at all. Most people are like, I watched wrestling and I had all these icons. And I'm like, well, I have icons now. But I didn't start watching wrestling until like 4 years ago. So yeah. Kind of a fake, I guess. I don't know.
Well, you're a brand new wrestling fan, which I think is awesome as well. We had Gabby Laspiza on, producer Busted Open. She just became a wrestling fan as well.
I love Gabby Laspiza. Yeah. She's so freaking cool. Yes. Man.
She's
she's
yeah. So
Sorry.
no, that's fine. Cut me off whenever you want. I'll just stumble over my words. So you're a newer wrestling fan. I heard you say in another podcast the first match you saw was the Hell in a Cell Mick Foley match with
that's
Taker. You loved Flair HBK, which
it's all true.
Which me personally, I think that match, although great for its time, actually doesn't stand the test of time because of Flair just won't quit. So it doesn't mean as much to me anymore, but yeah, whatever. Do you go back now and watch older wrestling?
That's pretty much all I watch. I pretty much only watch the Attitude Era, and then I'll watch current wrestling. Like I'll watch NXT, I'll watch WWE, I'll watch pay-per-views for sure, but then I'll try to catch weekly shows as often as I can just so that I know what's happening, so I know what I might be getting myself into if I were to ever get a contract at a major company. But for the most part, I go back and rewatch Attitude Era and all the matches I've already seen, but you always learn something new from them, you know?
You're a woman wrestler, Attitude Era back in the day didn't present women's wrestling as well as it's being presented now. When you go
puppies all the time.
Puppy, I don't have a sound drop for that, but yes, exactly. I don't have a question for this. I don't like what is. You go back and watch it. What are you gravitating to? Because for me, I'm just thinking maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I'm once again being naive. You're a woman wrestler. You're not going back watching those women matches, are you? Or am I missing some that maybe you are watching?
I mean, there are definitely moments in women's wrestling at that time that I think are really cool.
Yeah.
And there are definitely there are women, maybe not exactly Attitude Era, but it's cool to watch Sable, you know, it's cool to watch Mickey James. It's cool to watch these women who still have names in wrestling. But for me, it's actually more about the style.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like the old school style a lot. I like the classic spots. I like the bear hug where, you know, you got your arm up and you're down.
Yeah.
Arm up and he's down. And then at the last second, the most ridiculous thing, this man woke up and he's totally fine and he's going to keep fighting. Can I curse on this podcast?
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
I fucking love that shit. It's so, to me, it's just so captivating because I didn't grow up watching it. Right. And so to see the entire crowd being like, yeah, something that maybe perhaps if we were to take a step back, we all understand is not exactly how fights go or exactly feasible. It's still it rocks me to my core. And I also do think that there is a lot of realism in the Attitude Era, with the way that people with punches and with the way that people throw strikes, people would throw one strike and they would just sell that strike and deal with that one hit for a full minute and a half. You know, you've got the bad guy fucking just hanging out, watching him sell the fact that he just got hit in the face and the crowd goes nuts. And I think a lot of modern wrestling, people are amazing and they can do all sorts of things that I don't think I'll ever physically be able to do. Right. But people pop for flashier stuff now, right? Everybody's expecting moonsaults off the top rope. Everybody's expecting crazy stuff. And it's that simplicity of making it look like a fight that I really like. So sorry, that was a really long answer.
It's fine. That's what I was going to ask you. I was going to say, is the art of selling lost in today's wrestling? Should there be more of it?
I don't think it's lost because we have people like QT Marshall who are experts at it. I mean, we have people, we have, I could go on and list a bunch of wrestlers, but there are so many wrestlers that are teaching their students about that. And then equally as importantly, or maybe more importantly, I don't know, so many wrestling fans who know to pop or who are looking for that or craving that kind of older wrestling, that emotion and that experience. So I don't think it's completely lost. I think it's forgotten in some circles, but not lost.
Right. QT Marshall, you mentioned one of your trainers at the Nightmare Factory. I believe you started there in October of 2021.
That is correct. Yes.
That is correct. But that wasn't the first time you stepped in a ring because you were in a ring in a backyard for Glimmer.
SOS Pro Wrestling.
Oh, I almost had it.
Oh no, but it's funny. Glimmer was and so Glimmer was where I met my fiance. It's an improv comedy themed wrestling show at Jet City Improv in Seattle. So that is a show. It just there wasn't any there was wrestling in it, but it was mostly like a play on Glow, and it was narrative long form improv. So that's a real show too. But no, yeah, SOS Pro Wrestling is where I started officially, and the guys there are great. It's Dean Cooper, the Ultimate Guy, and Pitfall Jones run the promotion now. And they started it back then, but I was not trained at all. I had stepped foot in a wrestling ring for one class at the beginning of 2020, didn't touch it, didn't pick it back up until like towards the end of 2020. Before I moved to Florida in like July or August, I got in the ring and they were like, hey, we're going to teach you, you're athletic. Can you do some stuff? And I was like, sure, I can try. So they were like, all right, we're going to teach you 1, 2, 3, 4 things and ready, rolling and action. And I was like, okay, we're doing this, I guess. So I was not formally trained until I got to the Nightmare Factory, which is why I will say that if you look at old Vicky Dreamboat, classic Vicky Dreamboat matches, there's a lot of stuff in there that I'm not incredibly proud of now, having been trained.
Right. Already got classic stuff. Classic Vicky Dreamboat.
1 year in here.
Hey. You get there. You got trainers, QT. Cody was there, I assume. Still might be. I don't know how that works.
He's still there.
Okay. Glacier.
Yes.
Luke Sampson, I believe, is the other guy.
That's right.
What's? I mean, we could go down the list of each one of them. What's the biggest takeaway out of your trainers that you gotten out of that? Besides the in-ring stuff, maybe psychology, selling. What do you think it is?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I'm going to banter with myself here for a second while I think about it, because I learned so many valuable lessons, and I don't want to sell anybody short. I think from Glacier, Coach Glacier, one of the biggest things that I took away that actually resonated with me the most is just, he would always say, make the audience feel something, right? And so he was always very connected to that emotional side. And I think that's a thing that is lost in wrestling too, is that people get so wrapped up in like doing their awesome stuff and having all these cool spots or whatever, but you don't really connect with the audience. So he was very audience focused, and I really appreciated that, especially being a person who does improv and it's all about the audience all the time. Right? Yeah. So I think that would be Glacier. Coach QT, running on the list here. Coach QT, patience and taking your time. He's very, very good about breaking things down, and he cares so much, and he's such a good trainer. And he was very patient, but more importantly, he would teach us to be patient with ourselves and take our time in the ring and not rush through things, because when you rush is when you mess up, right? Coach Cody, promos and also authenticity, I would say. I think I said this on a podcast just earlier this week too, like being authentic, even if that is being yourself to the nth degree or whatever your character is, channeling that authenticity and really being able to portray it to the audience similarly to what Coach Glacier was saying. And then Coach Luke Sampson was like, I got a lot of one-on-one time with him. He's awesome. I don't know if you've ever met him or had the chance to chat with him at all, but he is like one of the coolest people, greatest wrestlers. And for me, with him, it was like I'd get the same notes over and over, but he was very kind and also patient and very, very good at just the wrestling stuff. Yeah. So I would say, like, moves-wise, expanding your move set and being able to safely expand your move set and try new things and not be worried about it. It's a lot of information.
But it covers everything that you need. Yeah.
Everybody has such a unique style and different things that are important to them. It's kind of like their flavor of ice cream is the way that I've heard my coaches put it before. And so because you're getting all these flavors of ice cream, you're like absorbing it all. And it's just like this delicious sundae of knowledge.
Have you watched QT's documentary yet?
No, it's on my list. It's on my list. I was told to watch it. I still haven't. I I know that I'm worried he's going to listen to this and be like, Vicky, I haven't watched it, huh? Yeah. All right. Cool. I'm sorry, coach.
Just pretend. Just make it up.
Can't lie.
Yeah, that's
true.
true.
You would know. I can't tell a lie.
You can't improv that? Like you've seen it? Make something up?
No, I mean, I could, but I feel like he'd find out. He's so smart. I'm not even gonna try. If I'll watch it. Next time, hopefully we speak again, and next time we speak, I will try to have watched it by then.
Those shirts that QT wears on AEW programming, does he have like a closet full of them?
I've never been to his house, so I don't know.
Does he carry them around in a duffel bag?
He might do. Maybe that's what that huge duffel bag is. No, I don't
know.
know.
You could still buy those type of shirts. Speaking of AW Dark, I heard you say I believe were going to be on it in December. You got hurt.
Yes.
Couldn't make it, but you bounced back quickly, jumped back in the ring. With
A little early, but I did.
Yeah. Are you crazy?
I am fully crazy.
Okay.
That's right.
Well, at least you know that. Yeah.
Fully crazy. Yeah. I did. I was scheduled to be on Dark. I will say the only thing that I can say is that I did attend the Dark tapings at Universal last weekend.
Ooh.
And so keep your eyes out just in case there is more to that story. But unfortunately, I cannot say one way or the other if there is or is not more to that story.
Interesting. Interesting, Vanessa. Did you know that?
I did not. It's like Hakeem Zayn and Karm.
Yeah, we had them on, and they alluded to it. And then didn't say anything to us, although Karm almost told us something. And I was like, no, we're live. We're a live show. Nope, don't say nothing.
Yep, that's why I'm being cagey.
Well, like you said, we don't want to know. We want to be surprised.
Totally.
So it'll be great. I look forward to that. I'll have to watch that.
Me too.
Dark Elevation, Mondays and Tuesdays from 7 to, or anytime. You watch it anytime. It's on YouTube.
It is. It's YouTube. It's good. It's a good time. Hopefully there's something. I don't know.
I've watched some of your matches and stuff. And like you said, fans love to pop for you. Like, they love you.
Thank you.
But I think you're really a heel right now. I think you're in sheep's clothing. I think you're a heel.
Why?
You give me that vibe, and that's all I know. Would you prefer?
I'm just healing.
Do you want to be a heel deep down?
Okay. I'm gonna put it this way.
Okay.
There is a heel inside of all of us, and there is a baby face inside of all of us.
True.
And we might be more baby face or more heel in real life, day to day, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough exterior, it's a tough interior. I don't think that it doesn't come as naturally to me because I've never ever worked heel. So in the times like the practice matches or wherever where I've tried it, I just overcompensate for it, and everybody's like, "Why aren't you a heel?"
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just trying too hard. I don't know. It's my face. It's the baby cheeks. So the answer to your question is yes and no. I think eventually, someday in my life, I would really like to make a heel turn. I just don't think the time is now, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. I think what it is, and I meant it in the most positive way. You give me that vibe. I think your love for making the audience feel something, I think heels can do that much better than baby faces.
Agreed.
And actually, baby faces need the heels so they can get their reaction, whereas heels just need to do heel shit.
Yep, 100%. The heel just has to be out there and be heely, and the audience feels something. Whereas the baby face is like, I'm here, look at me, I'm doing my thing, and they're like, good for you, that's great.
Heely,
same idea, different,
right? You comedian, improv. You mentioned that earlier. That has to benefit you, promo wise,
it does.
right? I mean, that's literally what promos and going back and forth with mic skills is.
It is. I was very fortunate when I first got to the Nightmare Factory to win, I'm gonna toot my own horn here, to win promo day. But I think the only reason that happened is because I came up acting, and I came up doing, and I've recently been doing improv comedy here in Jacksonville. My fiance owns a business, and I pretend like I help him pretty much. So it does help with promos. It also just helps with wrestling though, because anything could happen at any time, right. It's so unpredictable, even when it's predictable. So you have to be able to think quickly on your feet and interact with the audience and change things if they need to change. And so I think
you're telling a story in the ring.
Exactly.
So
yeah,
that makes sense.
Exactly.
To me. Yeah.
You want to follow your own narrative and be sure that you can kind of full circle it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I'm not a wrestler, but I've heard how some matches go. Some people lay it all out, like Steamboat and Savage. Some people have their bullet points of spots during the matches, and like an improv show, you know where you're starting because you get it from the audience, and you know where you want to end. And like you said, how you get there is the art. So spectacular stuff. I think did she freeze or she's
100%. It's very, very relevant.
Yes.
Oh, I'm here.
You're here.
You got me?
Yeah, you froze for a second.
No, sorry.
It's fine. We'll capture that. We'll use that as our thumbnail image. Perfect.
I bet I'm making like this face.
Now we're using that one.
Just get this terrible face. I'm like, okay, you guys want to do a thumbnail? And you're like, no, make that ugly face again.
No, we're just gonna grab the most embarrassing one.
Perfect.
It's clickable.
I can't wait.
Most clickable one.
For me.
Yeah. What was I was gonna say something about improv. I love improv. To go off of wrestling for a second, I love all things improv. Because it's like getting in character. I love the Netflix show Middleditch and Schwartz. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen them all 3 episodes.
Yeah, I've watched all 3 episodes a lot. It's really good. So if anyone else hasn't seen it, go watch it if it's still out there.
It is. It's super, super good. Those guys are. That's how you do a duo. Tell you what.
Yeah, for sure. That's like a wrestling. That's a wrestling match. Like those are 2 wrestlers out there telling you a story.
You know what it is? It's a low risk wrestling match. Very low risk.
Usually my bell rings for my laundry being done.
Sorry, I thought my headphones were working, but they're not, and I've been trying to fix them this whole time and trying to be cool about it. But I have not been cool, and so now I'm making noise. I apologize.
No apology needed. Yeah. So improv, acting, wrestling. Keep our eyes open. Something may arise here on Dark or Elevation.
Might pop up.
Yeah. What else? What else you got coming up? Got any shows, matches? Go ahead.
Yeah, I do. I got all sorts of stuff. If you want to come see some live improv comedy in Jacksonville, Florida, come to First Coast Comedy. Here, I'm going to plug it. Is that okay?
Yeah, plug whatever you want.
This is my fiance's business that I pretend like I run. If you want to buy stickers, reach out to me on Instagram. And for shows, I've got a show in Seattle on Friday, May 13th at SOS Pro Wrestling, where I got my very first start. So that will be happening on May 22nd. I've got a show at Pro Wrestling Action in Sanford, Florida. And you can follow me on all the socials for other shows and updates and things.
Spectacular. Yeah, we got the commands have been going. Your Twitter, your Instagram. Get some merch at, I believe it's Brainbuster Tees.
It is. That will be changing, but it is right now.
And I think you said you're coming out with a webpage.
Yeah, I am. I have a Patreon right now.
I had that too. I think I wrote Patreon down. I didn't put it in the list, but yes, Patreon as well. Where I'm assuming maybe 8x10s, autographs, stuff like that on there.
Yeah. So the 8x10s can be sold at any time, any place. But if you want to get a preview for what the 8x10s would look like, they all get uploaded to Patreon. I do full photo shoots, so I have like galleries upon not yet, but it will be galleries of all sorts of different photo shoots that I do not put on Instagram that are only on Patreon exclusive. Only on Patreon exclusively. And then I do like blog post updates. Sometimes I go live on Patreon in a way that I wouldn't on Instagram. So just all sorts of good stuff in there, exclusive content.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do, and make it exclusive.
100%.
The improv business of your fiance or boyfriend? Fiance that you pretend to work. I can't get to Florida to see it. Does it get uploaded anywhere?
We will be live streaming eventually. Right now we're actually having our grand opening on May 21st. However, probably by July we'll start live streaming shows, and I post about it on Instagram all the time too. So I guess I run his social media. So I guess in that way I am working.
There you go.
And I'm in the shows. So there's that. But as soon as we've got an update on that, I will definitely blast it on all the socials.
Spectacular. Vicky, we're nearing the end of the spot here, the show. You've been a pleasure to have on. I was telling Vanessa before we got started here, she's going to be great. This is going to be a great show. Just because you're just easy to talk to and you got a lot to say. And those are the best guests to have.
I am Very, very lots of talking, E. That's right.
Yeah.
Let's
Right,
end on that. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it, you guys. Thanks for reaching out. It's been awesome.
Yeah, anytime. What we do at the end of every show, before I let you go, is you already posted you already told us all the social, but you can do it again if you want. You can plug anything you want. You can say anything you want. You can go Healy if you want. Bury someone. I really don't care what you say. The floor is yours.
Oh gosh. Man, I just want to say, everybody be nice to each other because I haven't turned heel yet. But next time you hear from me, I might say something different. And until then, ahoy and goodbye.
Ahoy and goodbye. Have yourself a wonderful night, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, both of you. It's been such a pleasure. Take care.
Excellent. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. It's great.
Right. We'll have to thank Miles for
Oh, son of a bitch! That's right. I forgot to mention him. Fuck. I have it written down right there. Violent Miles Blackwell, CCW. I didn't even mention.